Namo Bhagavate Shri Arunachala Ramanaya Om 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 Welcome everyone. Welcome. Welcome to Satsang. Can you hear me okay? Wonderful. So I could carry on with the silence for longer. I just worry that some of you it may be too difficult. E-teaching is to go inwards, discover what we are, what we already are. And that is done in silence, deep, deep silence. Who am I? What am I? I am what I am. These things only work in deep silence. Otherwise, it is just superficial. There's nothing needed to do to be what you are, but that is only true, or I don't know how to say it. I'll just say that is only true in deep silence because, or meaning, the deep silence, there's nothing you need to do to be what you are. But in activity, if you're active, then doing nothing is what you need to do. You need to slow down the activity, take away the activity, remove doing to be what you are. Sometimes I say there's nothing you need to do to be what you are, meaning you need to do nothing. But if you're doing something, meaning if you're taking yourself to be a body mind in a world and then interacting in that way as a person or a body mind, interacting in the world of objects, then there is something you need to do, which is be still and discover what you are. And in that silent knowing, then there's nothing you need to do because that is your true nature. Otherwise, we are creating illusion after illusion after illusion, falsehood upon falsehood, stories within stories, layered upon other stories, notions and concepts building upon each other like castles made out of air, seeming to exist, but actually illusion, non existent. The false identity must be rooted out. False identity must be rooted out. The idea that you are something, you are a person, you are a body mind, You have a name, you have a body, you have a date of birth, you have all these other qualities that are body related, body dependent. Age, ethnicity, gender, level of intelligence or skills or knowledge, height, weight, strength. All these things are body attributes. The idea that you are an entity, a body, a person with any of these things, this is the false identity. This is the dream character that you take yourself to be, if you take yourself to be a dream character. This false identity must be rooted out. How to root out the false identity. Ultimately, the false identity cannot root itself out. Thankfully, that false identity is not what you actually are. Only in deep silence is this obvious and is this seen. This is why Bhagavan Ramana says, for freedom, for liberation, for genuine freedom, all thoughts must stop, must cease. But just like ultimately the false identity cannot remove itself, we cannot cease thoughts by merely trying to cease thoughts. What is the method? What is the method? What is the way? It is to be in satsang, be with Bhagavan, be in his presence, be in the presence of the one whose mind is destroyed, who is free. Submit, surrender by the grace of the self, by Bhagavan's grace, by Guru's grace, by teacher's grace. The ego will be swallowed up whole, destroyed, crushed, reduced to nothing, which is its nature. Nature is nothing, non-existent. We cannot do it ourselves. We need to submit, surrender to his grace, Bhagavan's grace. In surrender, the thoughts quieten down. Happiness, bliss wells up. Bliss comes into our being. We can be happy and still at peace. But the false identity likely will still lurk. Once we have surrendered, the bliss has come in. Thoughts have died down. Naturally, happily. No force. It's just happiness, beingness. The false identity is still there, lurking, dormant, in subtle form, in seed form, ready to sprout again. At this point, we can wield the weapon, the mighty weapon, the greatest weapon, self-inquiry, the great sword of self-inquiry, the great sword. It is both the sword and the shield. Both protects us and cuts the knot of the ego. It's the shield and the sword, protection and destruction of ego. Who am I? What am I? Allow the radiant jnana, knowledge, self-knowledge, atman jnana. Allow the radiant knowledge which is within you already to shine forth, to blaze forth out of your heart, out of your chest, illuminating darkness, destroying darkness by its very being. Allow yourself to shine as you truly are. Formless, infinite being, radiant being. Bhagavan tells us, in the radiant light of the self, no duality can exist, no objects can persist. It's like turning up the brightness on a television screen. All the objects on the screen, all the individual things are obscured by the brightness of the self. If deep sleep is like darkness of ignorance, jnana is the radiance of light, knowledge. Both are alike in the lack of duality or objects, but one is darkness and one is light. One is forgetfulness, one is self-knowledge. So surrender, submit, allow His grace in, be happy, be still, be at peace. Then ask, what am I? You don't have to ask it in words, although you may. Remember what you are. Don't just dwell in the happiness, the bliss, which is the subtle objects for the ego. Know yourself. Reject the false. Reject the objects. Go to the subject. You are the eternal subject, the knower. Know the knower. Bhagavan tells us, know the knower. Forget about the knowing and the known, which are objects and processes. The knowing and the known, the perceiving and the perceived, forget that. Who am I, the perceiver, the subject? In the scriptures, it is said that you are the witness. Sakshi. Sakshi means witness, that which sees. Sakshi, that which sees. The witness is translated as. It's a poor translation, in my opinion. You see, Sakshi, the Sanskrit word Sakshi, translated as witness, you are the witness. It implies that you are seeing things. No, the idea is you are that which sees. The witness means that which sees. You are the seer, meaning the subject. You're not meant to remain as the witness observing phenomena. No, the idea is forget the phenomena, forget the seeing. Who is the seer? Discover the nature of the seer. Don't remain witnessing things. When it says you are the sakshi, you are the witness, it means you are the subject. That is the import of the teaching. That is what the teaching is trying to get you to understand. Turn towards the seer. You will discover that is actually not a seer. It is the self. It is the I am. Truth. True identity. Lose the false identity. Lose it. How? Bhagavan's grace. And Bhagavan's teaching. Surrender to his grace. Follow his teaching. Very simple. Surrender to his grace. Follow his teaching. Who am I? Surrender to his grace. Follow his teaching. Be in his presence. Surrender to his presence. Be happy, be still. How? Through surrender to his presence and follow his teaching. Who am I? Surrender to his grace. Follow his teaching. If we love him, surely we will surrender to him. If we trust him, surely we will surrender to him. Because he is our self, our true self. He knows what needs to be done. He is there to look after us. Whenever we're ready, he'll help us. If we love him, we will surely surrender to him, recognizing his infinitely higher power than ourself, meaning the ego, infinitely higher than the ego. And then if we love him, surely we will follow his teaching, listen to his teaching, hear his words. We won't just ignore what his words are, but listen to his words, follow his teaching. Marcus. Welcome.
Namaste.
Namaste.
So I would like to read the invocation, but I don't see it in the chat. So can I read the invocation you wrote in the article that I read like a month ago? Is that okay?
I don't know which one it is, but it is fine, I'm sure.
So it's in the I am that article at the end. I really liked that. Yeah, I'll do it again. Praise to Sri Ramana. Oh, Sri Ramana, thank you for your marvelous and wonderful teachings and your eternal presence, which confer the delight and light of liberation in this life to all that turn towards you. By merely connecting with you in some or any way, liberation is assured, like the head ego in the tiger's mouth. May you consume me, devour me, so I become one with you in eternal peace, love, light, and bliss. I bow to you, I surrender to you, I give myself to you, lovingly, happily, again and again. You who are actually just my own true self. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Arunachalaramanaya. Om. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om.
Thank you, Marcus. Thank you. So that is on an article. Is that's at the end of an article I wrote, correct?
Yes, it's the first introductory article.
It's the first of the introductory articles. It's called You Are That, I Am That.
You're that, you're that.
It's
Yes.
called You Are That, and it's right at the end. That is a beautiful invocation. That is a beautiful invocation. I know I wrote it, but it is, when you read it, it is as if I'm hearing it for the first time. Again, thank you, Marcus. You see, it's only in deep silence we can understand, or understand's completely the wrong word, but there are no words to explain. But only in deep silence can you really understand or see or feel or realize the truly infinite and blissful nature of the self. If you don't go within, it's just concepts. You may not think it's concepts, but it is. It's just thoughts for the ego, for the body mind. It's thoughts, ideas, philosophy, concepts for the body mind. Maybe good concepts, maybe bad concepts, but non-liberating ultimately, unless we go within, discover. And when we go within, discover, we never come back out again. never come back out again. It's so fulfilling. There's not even a possibility of coming out because the entity that could go in or out is destroyed. And the in and out, the inside, the outside are also destroyed. But for the point of view of the seeker, for a teacher will say you never come back out again. Never reintegrate into the illusory world of Maya, of duality, of thoughts, concepts, of body mind, of ego, of suffering, the dream. We don't then go back into the dream of samsara. People say, oh, but Bhagavan Ramana, he went back into the world. Look, he was talking to people. Obviously, he was back in the world again. He was interacting with people. No, he wasn't. He said, no, I'm not. That's just the way it appears to you. Through your ignorance, you see me apparently integrated and talking to people in the world. But I don't see any of those things. They are a product of ignorance. They're downstream from ignorance. The self never sees ignorance or those things. You see, there's a very misunderstood teaching in Vedanta that says ignorance, when they describe the nature of ignorance, they say it is beginningless. You see in the scriptures it says beginningless ignorance. And people think that means it's here, but it never has a beginning. Ignorance is here, but it kind of is eternal in some kind of way. They say it has an end, but it doesn't have a beginning. It means it was always here. But that is not what it means. Again, it's a misunderstanding. It's like Sakshi. People think it means be the witness, witness things, observe things. It doesn't. Sakshi means discover the nature of the subject. Ignore the objects and the verb. Ignore the seeing and the seen, and place your attention to the I am, the seer, the subject. It means turn away from the objects, discover the nature of I am, the subject. Self-inquiry. In the same way. Beginningless ignorance means ignorance never began. That's what it means. It means it never even started in the first place. When the scriptures say ignorance is beginningless, they mean it never began. It never even happened. This is why we cannot say ignorance began at a certain point. Scriptures say it didn't even begin. It isn't real. It never even happened. This is the meaning of beginningless. It means it has no beginning. It means it didn't begin. It's like a race that never started. How did the race that never started start? It didn't start. Again, because without deep silence of mind, it just becomes concepts. So we go within and we don't eventually, through grace, through bhakti, through love, through inquiry, through viveka, through discernment, through vairagya, which means loss of interest in the objects of the world, and conversely, love to be with the self. If it's just loss of interest in the objects of the world, that becomes depression and bleak, depressing, boring, bland, bleak, dry. But vairagya, which is translated as dispassion, means loss of interest in the objects of the world. Why? Because we're enamored by the self, love for the self. It's the other side of bhakti, atma bhakti, self-love, para bhakti. Supreme bhakti is when we love ourselves, true nature, true self. Allow that to shine through. It's like finding a bar of gold and losing interest in the copper pennies. All your life, you're interested in pennies, and then you find the bar of gold, and you lose interest in the pennies. Straight away, you just looking at the bar of gold. The gold is yourself. The pennies are the body, the mind, the world. But if you try and lose interest in the pennies without discovering the bar of gold, then life just becomes depressing, nihilistic, dull, dark. And you've just put yourself in an ideological dark corner. When you discover yourself, then naturally you let go of the body mind world. And over apparent time, we come to be with Bhagavan more and more. This is the point of satsang. This is why it's good to come to satsang regularly. To be reminded of this conceptually on the level of words and non-conceptually, level of being, presence, silence,